I got yelled at by the black Israelites today. That's cool. I like that y'all keeping that tradition alive here. If you don't know what the black Israelites are, they're a group of black people. They dress like Ninja Turtles and they just yell at white people. That's all they do. Cracker asshole, but just screaming at white people for no reason. And they think they're Jewish and they're visibly not Jewish, just so you know. Visibly, these people are not Jewish at all. If you've never seen them, though, this is how they work, all right? The black Israelites, it's one main dude. He has a big megaphone, okay? He's the one that yells at white people the loudest. Crack a devil hole, bitch. Milk is making you gay. That kind of shit for no reason. It's another nigga with him, though, and he has a smaller megaphone. And that nigga just does ad-libs in the background. That's the funniest nigga ever. Because main dude's going off, small megaphone dude is in the back going, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother, tell him. Like doing that kind of shit. Tell him. So I love that one. So I'm with my girl and we're walking and we come up on the black Israelites and I'm with my girl. And by the way, if you're a girl and you want to talk to me after the show, I do cheat. So I'm with my girl, right? Big megaphone dude sees me with my girl and goes, everyone stop what you're doing, stop. That nigga got a white girl, y'all. Look at him. Get away from that white, my brother, defend yourself. Like yelling at me like that. My girlfriend is not white, she's Asian. She's visibly Asian, right? I don't know what that, my last girlfriend was white, she was a rescue. But this one is not. My girlfriend is also one of these girls that doesn't understand the concept of don't argue with crazy niggas, right? Don't argue with this crazy, just keep walking. She's like, I'm not even white, should I tell him? No, but walk. Don't argue with this crazy ass man for no reason, keep going. She's like, no, I read Brene Brown, I'm gonna speak up. She gets in front of the dude with the big megaphone, goes, excuse me, I'm Vietnamese. And he goes, I don't give a fuck. And then small megaphone dude goes, talk to that Chinese white bitch, my brother. Well, that's what you get. You shouldn't have said nothing. You shouldn't have said, now I gotta act like that's not funny. Why would you put me in this situation? I'm happy to be out of Texas, man. That's where I'm from.
Shalom. First of all, let's start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Rakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and apostles of great millstone, likewise, brothers, putting on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep and you brothers and sisters. Doing again, Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, Laugh Now, Deleted Later. Now, as you saw in the opening clip, okay, with this comedian, and I don't know if he's a Jake or not, you know, he has the appearance, okay, of a so-called black man, but who knows, and that's not really important. What is that you're looking at is the mindset of the people over there who see this ministry as a joke, you know, and he's entertaining these crackers sitting in his audience, you know, much to their delight. They're very happy him using those, you know, words like nigger, and he's referring to us, okay, you know, even though we know that the group that he's talking about is the probably ISUPK and IUIC and some of these other groups that use the megaphone to speak, and you know, they're out there really to try to draw attention versus actually just preaching the gospel, you know, and let Yahweh Shai bring the sheeps to them, you know, those who the Lord choose to bring. Okay, and we know the Lord is using these camps out there to attract the undesirables, you know, to retain their attention, okay, and also they're the ones that really people are looking at as a disturbance to their life of peace, or disturbance, okay, to their way of life, okay. The Lord doesn't have them come around, you know, to men that are teaching this gospel the right way. In fact, let's go into the book of 1 Corinthians 1, starting verse 25, before we go and take a look at the profile of this doggone idiot on the stage who's not really funny at all. It says, because of the foolishness of power is wiser than men, and the weakness of power is stronger than men. For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. So we are what people perceive in this society as low men, okay, men that are not, you know, in the upper echelon of society, even amongst the tribe of Israel, so-called blacks and Americans and Latino. Continuing, says, but power had chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and power had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. So we don't have any might in our hand. We don't own businesses. We're not on Forbes magazine, okay? You know, we're not on Inc. 500. We're not, you know, in the entertainment world, you know, like Jay-Z and Kanye West and the rest of those guys. So we don't have that kind of name. Okay, that exaltation is going to come later. And base things of the world and things which I despise. Yes, we are despised, especially the so-called Negro. Had power chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are. Now let's go and take a look at this guy, because he doesn't understand what the message is that is coming from this ministry. Obviously he's encountered these other camps out there, which is why he referred them as loud and racist, and of course they're attacking his beloved so-called white people. As you can see, the white audience, at the expense of the, as he like to quote unquote call us, the black Hebrew Israelite. He's letting them know his disdain, okay, for the so-called black Hebrew Israelite, which were not black. Okay, now we know he's not attacking the men that are in order doing this work, or doing the work of a Mashiach, but he's attacking the ministry nonetheless. And so we speak, on behalf of everybody that's, standing on the highway and the byway and putting their lives on the line, okay, to let our people know that they are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites out there. Now, in this profile, he claims that he is a lawyer. So here's his profile on LinkedIn. He's got 427 followers. Okay, and he says, I'm a former educator turned attorney and new to the city of Austin. And then he's moonlighting as a comedian. So clearly he's not really doing that well, as a lawyer, and the fact that he had to, he's doing, he has to do moonlighting as a comedian in what looks to be a little bar, and, they got a little like spotlight on him like that. So he's low level, and yet still he has this dumb pride, okay, to speak. Okay, now we don't go out there speaking on our own. We are doing the work of the Lord, okay, the Mashiach. We're not this ain't about us, okay. This is about the Lord and what he intends to do on this earth, and bring up those judgments. And one of those things that is coming right now, and you're seeing the foundation being laid for it, okay, is the mark of the beast. But this is not going to be something that's just going to be, oh, well, yeah, I'll take it and just move forward in life. Nah, leading up to it is going to be a lot of tribulation, a lot of trouble, okay. When you go back and you think about the C-19, they caused a lot of people to either take it or lose their job. And in the end, those will still lose their job because why? Of economic, turmoil that's taking place right now. Okay, so one of the things that we are going through is, as part of our doing this work, is that we're going to be marked. People are going to look at you, objectively and go, who the hell are you, doggone, niggas, as he referred to us. Okay, you saw, you heard him. Okay, much of the light of these doggone crackers sitting in this audience says. This is Revelation 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, all the countries, all the nations on this earth, to try them that dwell upon the earth. And you see the situation that's taking place right now. These tariffs and these elites now have all of these leaders on the earth, destroying the country from within. Okay, you see where this is going to lead, okay, to that global identity system, that global monetary system, which is going to come in the form of that RFID microchip. Okay, and what is it what did we do to keep the word of the patience of the Mashiach? Okay, we endure being made fun of. We endured standing up in the hot sun, the wind and the dust blowing in our eyes. Okay, having to cut people out of our lives to endure. To do this, complete this work. And because we did that, the reward is going to be that he's going to keep us from having to be tempted to go and get that RFID microchip, when everybody else is catching hell, when they can't eat, they can't live in a place, and you have to have that to do everything in society, just like how you have to have money, okay? And that is going to lead to a lot of sedition and horrible things taking place. Let's go into the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 3, and it reads, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. So this is why nobody believe, because every time you look outside, people still partying, they still having fun. I look at my neighbors, them, and the wife, she's still BBL, and they driving their nice flashy cars, and the dude, he get his cap twist backward and blasting his music, and I've thrown curses out in that house, and they still walk around doing it. You get brothers who throwing curses on Great Babylon America. Babylon America is still here, throwing curses on other things, and it's still here. But when you really take a look at it really closely, is the Lord listening to us? Yes. You can see people are full of shit. Okay, they're pretending. It says, "But beloved, be not ignorant of this thing." This is verse 8. One thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. Okay, so you see how that works? It says the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, which is destroy Great Babylon America, put these people in some horrible situation. Some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. So basically, you have the men of the Lord that's been doing this before I found out I was even a Hebrew Israelite. So now, what if the Lord had answered them and said, okay, you know what? I hear you complaining too much now. You've been complaining for the last 20 years like that. I'm going to come right now. I would not have the opportunity to repent and be saved. You see how that works? So we have to thank Yahweh Shemel Shah that he has patience, because there's still lost souls out there that are still trapped mentally in Great Babylon America. They don't know who they are. They don't know this place is in for them, that they're just here as a judgment, as a punishment pursuant to Deuteronomy 28. Okay, so we don't know if this guy standing up on the stage laughing right now that he could possibly, the same people that he's making fun of, which is the so-called black Hebrew Israelite, which are not black. Okay, there's no such thing. He might come to find out, hey, what they're saying is true. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3 reads, but if our gospel be hid, it is said to them that are lost. He could be one of these people, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of power, should come unto them. So again, he's a lawyer and he's a moonlight as a comedian, so he is bound and determined to make it here. Okay, he's bound and determined to make it here, and he love the smiles that's coming from these crackers that are sitting in this audience. They love hearing him throw that word nigger around, and all the other phrases that he's using. He feels like he's one of them, especially, being a light-skinned, whatever the fuck he is. It says, for we preach not of ourselves, but Hamashiach, Lord, and ourselves, servants for Hamashiach's sake. So we ain't preaching with ourselves, man. We don't give, we doing the work because this is part of being in the fraternity, part of the works that we have to do. The Hamashiach came in the flesh. Okay, he left the throne of glory to come in the flesh to do what? He had to pay the ultimate price. He had to get beat down, humiliated, and die so that we could be saved. Okay? So likewise, he asks us that we have to go. He chose us. He chose us. And we didn't choose him. He chose us out of the world. Okay, you better really think about that. We are chosen to go do this work. I never knew none of this stuff I'm reading right now. 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about this. Okay? So I was chosen to go do this work. This is what our job is. Okay, so people can laugh all they want, because when you go into 2nd Ezra 15, verse 14 reads, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Because this man doesn't know he's struggling. He's struggling. You're never going to make it, man. Okay, been there, done that. For the sword and the destruction draw at nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against one another and swords in their hands. And this is what we preach about. You see, if he wasn't blinded and just only focusing on the megaphone and the loud noise and all the other stuff like that, and open his mind, which he can because he's being blinded, he would understand that this is really what we are testifying about, the destruction that's coming, okay, to these cities on this earth, but in particular the Great Babylon America. Okay, and it says, for there should be sedition amongst men invading one another. They shall not regard their king or nor princess, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. So these people are not going to give two shits about Trump, the police officers, the border agents, the ICE agents, FBI, nothing. All hell is going to break loose very soon. Okay, and once that happens, that these people that are sniveling, that wants to be in Babylon America, when you realize you don't have no protection, guess what? Again, as we always bring it out, it's going to be predator and prey, predator and prey, and there's a whole lot of predators and a whole lot of prey, and the majority of you people are doggone prey. Okay, so you can laugh right now, your little sheepish laugh, but most likely you're probably a part of the people that the Lord has written to be deleted. Let's go to the book of Matthew 24. And verse 38 reads, for us in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving into marriage. They're having a party in here, man. Look at that, laughing, making mockery until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so when those judgment comes, when Trump already do what he was set up to do, which is destroy the economy of America, okay, and as you look in there and we bring it out and you look in all these different news feed, you can see people are catching hell. Millions of people are new to catching hell. And it's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But guess what? There's still going to be a segment of people who are going to be partying it up, man. Okay? And that's how the Lord is going to have this. All right? So this dude, 1 minute he's standing there telling jokes, thinks he's funny and thinks he's all that. I'm a lawyer, I'm smart, I'm educated. And the next thing you know, he could probably be on the side of the road, begging some dude to maybe suck his dick or something like that so he can get a food to eat, because he certainly said it's not going to get the help that they give the women out here in Great Babylon, America. So Lord willing, D-Lek was edified, as close to give him all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.